Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Friday, November 20th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, on the economic front, over there in Asia, things are kind of like that. Nikkei up, Shanghai flat, Hang Seng this, bop, bop, bop. Same thing in Europe. Over here in the States, though, markets up. That's right, Dow up 90 points. Oil, West Texas, it was below 40. That's right, but closed a little bit above. Everything's kind of flat. Gold, bleep, bleep. Not too much going on. So why do the markets go up? U.S. stocks capped the biggest weekly gain of 2015. You know why? Because financial markets are primed for key central bank policy decisions next month. And you know what those key central bank policy decisions are? Well, the euro went down today because Mario Draghi, you know, the former head of the Goldman Sachs gang, the European division, now the head of the European Central Bank, he hinted at additional monetary easing. Yeah, more cheap dough into the system. So there you go. And here's a little note in here. Central bankers in Europe and the U.S. are attempting to keep the lid on volatility before the Fed's policy decisions in December. Keeping the lid on volatility. You mean maybe rigging the markets, huh? Yeah. No, they would never do that. So, the other reason why markets went up here in the States is that Los Angeles housing takes a U-turn. After seeing the highest September sales pace in 6 years, Los Angeles housing fell into a deep sleep in October. Home sales fell 0.4%. You know what the median Los Angeles home price is? $490,000. And over there in Brazil, nice times happening. Inflation surge adds to economic and political crisis. That's right, inflation's year-to-date 10.28% inflation rate. Economy is contracting by 3%. And the overnight interest rate, 14.25%. Now figure it out. It costs 14.25 or more to borrow at a time when the economy is going down and your currency is too. Yeah, there'll be growth there, I tell you. You can see where this is heading. Nowhere but south of the border. Subprime spike stirs worry. Subprime auto lending is shifting into high gear, raising some concerns in Washington, where top financial regulators have sounded alarms about this category of loans. Sounding the alarms? How many years has this been going on, man? Hey, we're regulators. It takes us time to get regulated in the right direction. We don't want to make too many waves so they can keep the Ponzi scheme going. So calm down. Remember who we're working for. House of Representatives don't represent us, and neither do the regulators. Over the 6 months through September, more than $110 billion of auto loans have been originated to borrowers with credit scores below 660, the bottom cutoff. Of that sum, about $70 billion went to borrowers with credit scores below 620. Overall, household borrowing has climbed to $12.1 trillion, the highest level in more than 5 years. With rising balances for mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit card in the third quarter. So you can see where this is going, because when things slow down, that debt's not going to be repaid, and all those lousy auto loans, that shifty deal, don't worry about it. We'll bail them out. They'll steal from us to give to the banks. You know the way it works. It's America. It's every country that's taken over by the central banks. Boop. Go back to your TrendsJournal, ladies and gentlemen, and read all about bankism. Top trend for 2015, and another great story in this edition by Nomi Prinz, the world-renowned author of All the President's Bankers, unfolding right in front of our eyes, and she explains what's going to happen next and what to be prepared for, because there's a global slowdown. Hey, even the Goldman Sachs gang's talking about it, but not in lingo that makes it clear. Goldman sees more raw materials pain. Natural resource prices have not bottomed and could fall further unless demand improves or more supply is curtailed, with oil, copper, coal, and zinc trading around their lowest levels since the financial crisis. Some investors have said prices could recover in the next 12 months, but they may go lower. And here's the number. The Bloomberg Commodity Index, a basket of 22 commodities, has fallen 16% to its lowest point since 2009. And United Health, the largest health care organization, insurance company in the United States, looks like they want to bail out of Obamacare. Yep, getting more customers, but they're losing money. The average premium for median benefit offered to a 40-year-old non-smoker is set to rise 10.1% in 2016. Everything Obama's done has been a failure. Oh, you little liberals, that's right. And now his prize, Obamacare. They don't care. The deal ain't working. Insurance giant United Healthcare dealt a blow to Affordable Health Care Act when it warned that it may stop offering insurance plans to individuals through public exchanges established by the reform law. The move comes amid indication that insurers are absorbing steeper costs than they expected from plans offered to individuals through the public exchange. Bip. Good reason for the economy to go up. People are going broke, going deeper in debt, can't afford health care, and it's all in front of our eyes, but nobody wants to look at it. And I've been around a while in my life. Never saw anything like this in the weeks leading even up to Good Day of that Black Friday. Black Friday. What a terrible name. Black Friday. Yeah, you know why they call it Black Friday? No, it's not racist. Take it easy, take it easy. It's because the retailers used to make so much dough, the books would go in the black, added a red after those big sales. The Super Sales Saturday, Friday too, 50 to 75% off store-wide, spectacular two-day specials, Friday, November 20th, and Saturday, November 21st. Take an extra 20% off with your Macy's card. Get this stuff for free. Macy's. You know what's going on. It's a recovery, a boom, a bust. Hey, remember I read about yesterday an Obama administration? Oh, you little liberals. Yeah, you quiche eaters with that balsamic smile. Ah, you're the ones. Yeah, you go to Whole Foods, yeah, the neat and clean ones. Them genetically modified, engineered fishes, them salmons. No label will be required for engineered salmon. Agency official, assholes, explained that the law required labeling of material aspects of food and that the use of genetic engineering per se is not material. Per se. Oh, per se. The law. What law? The laws are made up by the companies. What am I, 6 years old? No, this is in the Bible, man. Yeah, remember, Hitler made all the laws too. And they're doing it again. Heil Obama. Heil Hitler. Heil the FDA. The FDA with an FUC for YOU. Yep. Keep eating them salmons. Whoop. Economic fallout of Paris attack hits tourism and hotels hard. And now, of course, there's talk going on, this latest video coming out of a terror strike in New York City. New ISIS video threatens attack in New York City. We're an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes north of New York City. In Kingston, New York. I used to be in Rhinebeck, which is right across the river. When 9/11 happened, foof, whop, shoo, this area really boosted. God forbid there's a terror strike in New York City. You can't get out of the joint. It's an island. You got the George Washington Bridge. You got the Verrazano going to Staten Island, which takes you nowhere. Staten Island, get it? The other bridges, where they're going to take you? Long Island, no, another island. To go north, you got these tiny little bridges. 3rd Avenue Bridge, the Henry Hudson Parkway Bridge. There's mayhem there. People aren't going to get out. I don't have the time tonight to tell you, but for those of you who've been following me over the years, when 9/11 happened, I went into emergency mode. I had guns, gold, and a getaway plan because I did not know if they were going to strike the nuclear power plant at Indian Point, which is essentially 45 miles north of ground zero. And if that happened, there'd be chaos like you've never seen. This is out of control. And as long as war keeps going forward and there is no peace, there's going to be more violence. Mali hotel attack, at least 21 dead. Assailants with guns blazing attacked a hotel hosting diplomats and others in Mali capital on Friday morning, leaving at least 21 dead. The assault began about 7 a.m. when 2 or 3 attackers with AK-47 rifles, Mali, AK-47 rifles. All this thing about a rattled Europe tilts toward bolder security. Everybody, even that Trump, all you Trump lovers, saying we have to lose our rights for more intelligence and security. Anyone that's a fighter knows that you don't need the internet or a cell phone to launch an attack. Matter of fact, over there in China, they just killed 50 people because of an attack. They killed about 70 people with a guys wielding knives. Yeah, I think Attila the Hun, when he came over the mountains, man, he wanted a weather report and he needed his cell phone and all that internet equipment. Grow up. All the security in the world is not going to stop this. Only non-interventionists. Molly, pick up your TrendsJournal. Here it is. Winter 2013. As we go to press French President Hollande, that little rotten scum of a man, a little nothing of a boy, with support from President Obama, fresh on his taking out Gaddafi, has launched airstrikes in Mali and sent French ground troops to attack, quote, Al-Qaeda-linked Islamists. Initial reports claim that only a handful of rebels were killed, and the main victims were women, children, and the elderly. Great job, Hollande, you mass murderer. The hospital is overflowing. Both morgues and cities are filled with bodies. A Malian official told, who did he tell? Who's reporting this propaganda? Oh, the New York Times. Yeah. Under the auspices of the United Nations, the U.S., France, UK, and other NATO members are planning broader intervention in Mali. The Mali civil war, which has already turned 300,000 of its citizens into refugees, is but one of the many conflicts in the region. In response, the rebels sent a loud message that could be heard around the world. Quote, Mali Islamists threaten to retaliate at the heart of France. Today they threaten payback. End quote. That's according to the Christian Science Monitor. Yes, I write, payback. Just as we used to say in the Bronx, payback's a bitch. And as long as nations attack other nations and people kill other people, the eye for an eye payback cycle will continue. That's it. Everyone's calling for more surveillance. Little boy Bush is blowing his horn for more war, declare war. Hillary Clinton, all more war. Nobody's looking at the cause and effect. You kill a lot of people are going to want to kill you. I'm for peace and prosperity and beauty and joy. Occupy peace or occupy hell, because that's where they're leading us to. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.